Hi friends, Julian here. So I've been totally fascinated by the moon for as long as I can remember. I mean, what self-respecting nerd isn't? Here's a little footage I shot last year from the garden. I just love it. It's such a crazy thing. So to complete my obsession with the moon, I would love to have a metal model of it, and it would be awesome for it to be as accurate as possible, so it can show some of the larger craters and mountains. On a slight side note, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but my videos have started to become very long, drawn-out affairs. And while that's okay, it's become very draining on my free time as they take forever to edit. Like a full week of free time for a 20-minute video. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to try to make some shorter videos. Yeah, I know, it's not going to happen. But I'm going to try, damn it. And if I manage to make a smaller video, I'll be able to upload more often. Also, I've heard that YouTube favours shorter videos around the 10 to 15 minute mark, so that might be good for the health of the channel, because I've definitely seen a slowdown recently. Which reminds me, if you like watching a buffoon have his midlife crisis live on the internets, how about subscribing? Don't forget to click that stupid bell. Damn you, bell, damn you. Right, this video is already getting bogged down in waffle. Typical. Back to the point. So ever since I've been 3D printing, which is way before I've been casting, I've been making little models of the moon. And here are just a few. Here's a close-up of one of these models. Oh, incidentally, here is where Apollo 11 landed way back in 1964. Just amazing. Unless you're a flat earther, in which case you're an idiot. I've actually wanted to cast the moon for ages, but being nerdy, I wanted decent resolution of the craters and mountains, which meant my usual method of casting, sand casting, just won't work. The craters and mountains mean it can't be removed from sand without spoiling the mould. They stick out too much. There's no draft. So I've had no way of casting the moon while keeping the surface topology accurate. Until now! Now I have a kiln! Hooray for my kiln! You can watch me renovating this kiln in a previous video. Link in the description. So I'm going to try and use the lost PLA method, which will involve me printing a model and then surrounding it with investment plaster, then heating the whole thing up so hot that the model of the moon will burn away, and this will leave a gap in the plaster which I can pour the molten metal into to create the moon. Well, that's the plan. This is my favourite model of the moon. It's brilliant, but it's solid, and while it would be incredible to have a solid metal moon, I think the size of the gate going into the moon, to avoid the dreaded shrinkage, the size of the gate would have to be so big that lots of the moon's surface would be lost to the gate itself. So I think a hollow shell is what's required, so that when the metal fills it up, it will freeze quite soon, and it won't have enough time or volume to shrink. So in order to make a hollow shell, like in my kettlebell casting, I will need a core inside to stop the bronze filling it up completely. So to have a core, I will need to sacrifice a small area of the moon in order to support it. So I took this solid model of the moon I have, and I removed a sphere from inside it using Mesh Mixer. Then I removed a cylinder at the bottom to access the core. I've chosen the southern pole to be lost to the core. I split this model into two hemispherical shells, so they'll print nicely, and I'll glue them together after printing. I went with a shell thickness of about 7mm. It's a bit of a guess really. It seemed big enough to allow some nice flow of metal, but not so big as to allow shrinkage, I hope. Here are some of the models I've printed. These small hemispheres took about 14 hours each to print, and these bigger ones, they were 28 hours each. Yeah, 28 hours each. As I make this model, I might actually try and make a few, mainly in case they go wrong. But if more than one works, perhaps I should do a giveaway. I think that'd be really cool. So now I've got the two hemispheres printed. I remove the support material from inside the shells. I drill a hole for where the core will go in. I've 3D printed a little foot that will hopefully allow the core to stay put while the bronze is being poured in. And just try and minimize any defects with some wax. And glue the two halves together. Here I'm suspending the PLA version of the moon over a container so that it will be held in mid-air while the plaster sets. Okay, That's it for episode 1. Next on I Love Moon, I'll be making the investment plaster, pouring that in, making the mould, and burning out the PLA pattern. And hopefully the core won't break off and spoil the whole party. Maybe other stuff too, I've not done it yet. It's the future. Yay, the future! Where are my other boots, damn it? Don't forget to subscribe, watch episode 2. Oh, I nearly forgot. A big shout out to Tilly and Theo. Tell your dad to get you a 3D printer. Bye!